Hi, it's Cheryl at Bright Days Ahead. And one of the things that was important to us on this journey was to reconnect with friends and family. And so while we were in Texas, I really wanted to see someone that was very special to me. And so we drove 440 miles out of the way to see my great Aunt Ruth. Now Aunt Ruth, she's 92 years young, lives in Frisco, Texas. And we drove up from Houston to stay a couple nights in Dallas just to see her. I grew up knowing favorite Aunt Ruth, as she was my grandparents' travel companion. See, my grandparents could bicker, but she was their peacekeeper, and she liked to play cards with my grandmother in the evenings. She traveled a lot on her own, too. She was very independent, and if you ask her why, she'd tell you she had to be. She was born at the start of Great Depression in 1929. Her father died before she turned 2, leaving her single mother left to raise 8 on her own. And as a young child, Ruth was left alone as everyone had to work, including her next oldest sibling was my grandfather. She married at an old age at 30. Mind you, I didn't get married till I was 35. And she had children late in life at 32. Again, I was 39. She's been widowed since the early 80s. As a widow, she went to work, joined clubs and committees, volunteered, and traveled. She always made sure that the local Lutheran church altar was prepared every Sunday for church. Today, she told me all about the national parks she went to, which she's seen most of them as we were comparing our lists. In fact, one time when I was visiting the Grand Canyon, out walks Great Aunt Ruth out of the restroom. Last I saw Aunt Ruth at age 88, she was still helping to drive all those old people to doctor's appointments. One woman she was driving was 20 years her junior. Lately, Ruth hasn't gotten to travel much or be a social. She moved to a new state to an assisted living facility right before COVID. This last year, quarantine has been hard on Ruth, like most people, but especially hard for the elderly. She loves to be with people and make friends. She doesn't understand why they keep her locked up in her room like a jail. As we were driving through Texas, a 440-mile detour was definitely in order. We got to spring the jailbird for lunch and a trip to the park. She was especially proud she could climb into our great big huge Ford truck. She laughed watching the girls sing and play. For a great aunt, no distance is too great to go see a woman who has a great many bright days ahead.